In our previous episode, we put my new Evo 9 onto the dyno to see if it makes the power advertised by the seller.
Made good power by the looks of things.
It spun up a healthy 270 kilowatts, but it still doesn't feel fast on the street, and we're convinced it's got some problems. In this episode, Scotty, aka Tuning Fork from Haltech, is going to do a quick drive to see if we can work out what's going on.
How long since you've driven an Evo 9?
Ages, man. And especially one, I feel this one, man, I'm not joking, they've done a good job.
Check engine light worries me a bit still.
I had a 1 year or 3 year subscription on YouGo Info in 2005, remember?
Wow, yeah, true.
And the phone would ring in the car and it's amazing. And then they'd go, how can we help you? And say, I'm just wondering where's the local petrol station, or like
is that what it was for?
Yeah, and it's a GPS tracker.
In case you have a stack.
Yeah, but then I was a victim of it. That however long before they all the phone numbers got released for the for all the SIM cards.
Oh, okay.
So my car used to get phone calls in the middle of the night, and I could hear the phone ringing in the car.
No.
And if you're in it, I never got to pick it up to talk to whoever was pranking me, but you could press it and pick it up. Yeah.
Well, I'd be interested to see what you think about low down stumbliness, whether that's just what these are like or whether there's something you think going on. Obviously these things we'll be able to solve if it is an issue.
See that Subaru guy just look at it slow. Yeah, what's up?
You do see that a bit, yeah. When I put 4 new tyres, wheel alignment, just very basic wheel alignment, even that in terms of just general drivability made a huge difference.
Yeah,
because before that, I was driving in the wet and I just wasn't confident because it would have random understeer, oversteer stuff that didn't make sense for the speed I was doing, which in the wet, obviously, it's all magnified. So that has already immediately made it better. And as I said, it feels really sharp. But yeah, in terms of just general tune and stuff like that, I'm still not totally across it.
This has got coilovers, but stock everything else.
Coilovers, I'm pretty sure it's stock suspension otherwise, and the coilovers are
a bit of a clunk in the back.
Yeah, a bit of a clunk, yeah. I'll address that later. I also think it's a bit too low, slightly.
Mine was actually, I had stock wheels, and was actually quite high. It was probably about 2 inches. The guard was about 2 inches above the stock wheel.
I'm good with it in a car like this. I actually think the ride height is good because you can really throw them around.
Well, mine, I didn't want to ruin the rally part of it.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
mine, I could jump it off speed humps and smash it over gutters, and it couldn't care less.
Yep.
Here we go. You ready?
Yeah, give it a go.
That's a boost limiter.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we put the little vacuum line back on?
Yeah, it's back on. Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. It's not that it feels slow. Well, it actually, I lie. It did feel slow on that track. On that particular track, it did.
It's doughy down low.
It's doughy down low. Maybe that's why. Oh, there we go.
Has it done that to you?
Never. Have you tried turning it on and off again? Back in the game. Oh no, not back in the game.
No.
More engine lights, see? 2, 3, 4, 5. I was probably going to do this. Oh no, it's 4 this time.
Cam sensor.
Yeah.
I feel like we're lucky that we got it on and off the dyno.
Yeah. And we haven't given it a hard time. That's
just
one roll on in second gear and 3 dyno pulls, which should not be killing a car, with all that.
Let's just chill out for a second and let it fully turn off.
Was it second? Roll on in second?
Second,
Yeah,
yep.
so not even really loaded up that hard, hey? And this is my whole point. It's like, I just don't know what it's doing and why, and I can't really decode those engine lights as easy as I can plug in a USB thing and go, oh yeah. Or getting any really interesting info about it.
Well,
It kind of sounds ignition system-y, doesn't it?
it's cleared now, yeah. So the waste spark coils on this are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't. I don't think you'll have much of a problem.
Not at this level. I am going to go R35 coils though.
Oh, you will?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, nice.
Soon.
Yeah, no.
So, I mean, ideally, when the Haltech goes in, I'd like to go sequential at that point.
Perfect.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, love R35 coils.
Yeah, I figured.
I know what you're saying. That
Yeah, see,
now it just went from good to shitty.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm jumping into some limp mode, and I think that's what happened to me at the track, because as I was going up the straight, I noticed I had this sort of little miss. There it is.
No, the cam sensor's gone.
The cam sensor.
And I know...
Must be intermittent then.
And it is, because these cars on the intake cam... on the exhaust cam is where that cam sensor sits. I think that it's probably intermittent there, or the plug or the wiring in that area is a bit nasty. I've had the same thing happen. It seems unusual that this thing makes genuine good power that you could get rounded up by a V-dub with under 200 kilowatts. I don't believe, because 70 or 80 kilowatts of the wheels should be wheeling him in.
Especially on the straight. Yeah. But I had some stumbly stuff like what we're experiencing now, so potentially that maybe once I got it hot and bothered, maybe it only came in after a lap. I don't know, but all I know is I didn't have that sort of outright go like we saw on the dyno, which I also had on the highway, like on ramps on the way home. You give it a hit and it was fine. So
I don't think this is not a like, it's not a dud car thing. It's not a build thing. It's nothing like that. I genuinely admittedly, without plugging into the ECU, which I know is the first thing that if someone rang me with a Haltech problem, I'd say, "Come on, mate, very least plug into it."
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Which I'll grab a cable for this ECU and plug into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say bit of bad luck, cam sensor, or cam sensor wiring.
Sounds like if that is a really common thing. I mean, obviously I'll have a closer look at it, but if that's a really common thing, it sounds like getting a spare is a smart thing to do, because then troubleshooting it, it's like, cool, throw the new sensor on, and if the problem just completely goes away, then potentially you've nutted it out, you know.
Yeah. Let's just give it a stab after the.
Not even come on, huh? Does that feel like a limp mode?
Won't even come on. So what I think has happened, I think the cam sensor has just shit itself.
Or we've blown into the cooler pipe. It feels kind of like that too, doesn't it? Either way, like, the next step for this car is a proper once-over, which you obviously should do, I think, if you've got something that's making this power anyway. But there's a few tweaks I want to make, like I was saying, exhaust, manifold, gaskets, work out what's going on with the ECU, 2500 in it, just make it, because I want to make that power, but I want to make it reliably.
If you want to make that and make it nice, I think we'll put a plug-in in it. Would you put the throttle, like, I know your electronic throttle stuff, and the only thing I missed in my car was they don't have cruise control. Yeah,
I'd like to put e-throttle in it, and because this is based on the car's based on the same architecture as 2Sexy's donor car, those pedals are really nice, and they come on this little flat thing, you can bolt them in basically. And so I'm pretty keen to probably just run a loom from one of those and have e-throttle and then all the nice idle that's associated with it.
I wonder if we could even do a fancy... I know this is a good steering wheel, but I wonder if an Evo 10 or a nice steering wheel fits that's got the buttons that we could use.
I'm thinking 10 partly because you can't actually get these wheels, and that one's so beat up.
Yeah, right.
I'm thinking maybe that's the go. Anyway, I'm glad you got to drive it, and I'm glad it wasn't just totally perfect the whole time, because then I feel like I was imagining it.
You know what? I would, if that didn't play out then, I would have thought, oh, geez, I don't know. He hasn't done that well at the racetrack here. He hasn't
drive at all.
Let's just go in here, because it's
a bit more of a pig when it's doing this. This
is hard work now, isn't
it? Benny's here. Benny. Did you show up just because you knew there was a broken car and you could smell it?
Broken Evo.
Yeah.
Did the transfer case fall out?
It was always been broken.
I just made 270.
What are you eating, Dave?
Rice.
What's wrong with it?
You didn't save me any.
Nothing wrong with it on the dyno. That was sweet. But then we just went around the block. And I wouldn't race a JB. I wouldn't race a JB Chimera in that at the moment.
Did you hear what he just said? JB Chimera is one of the best cars of all time. I used to have a yellow one. One of the wheels fell off.
40-ish kilowatts at the wheel, something like that.
At all three wheels.
At one wheel.
Yeah, at one wheel.
And that wheel left.
Yes.
No. Just guessing that cam sensor, I think.
Yeah.
So I think what's happening is it does misfire and carry on, and is nasty, and he's probably still making like 100 kilowatts. So you could probably still drive it and be sort of forgiven for saying, it just drives
I'm just happy that I don't sound totally crazy because like 280, it doesn't feel like it's got 280 all the time. It feels
There's
slow.
a lot of like eyeballs looking at each other and a lot of awkward.
We didn't get this version of the script yet.
Script, Vinny.
Oh, sorry. Here's the script, guys. Now you act surprised.
And you make sure you're eating rice, but don't finish it till I get here.
Oh,
Yes.
Dave.
You've got more rice than I do.
Hashtag. What does that mean? I've got a massive German sausage.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's pretty much.
That's what we've
So
come to.
where we're at is Marty's Danish salami has unfurled itself into a shorter log than expected.
So not this is not a. It's not a lemon. It's not anything like. I'm positive that it got sold as it is. Like it was doing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, it was beautiful on the dyno.
Yeah.
Super keen to go and give it a bit of a beating.
Yeah.
The first time we came to give it a hit, which to me felt like
It's never done that before, though.
It felt so common to me that misfire and went.
I remember.
This is probably what is it? Oh yeah, Davo, because I think you fixed the wiring in my.
What
car
is it,
once.
Davo? Has he already seen it? What is it? Can we fix it with a cable tie?
It's always a cam sensor, isn't it?
Evo cam sensor.
And that's why you
cam
carry them
sensor.
in your glove box. Is that correct?
1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's this bit, right? It's this one. Is it in there? Oh, that one. The one that's already got the cable tie hanging off it.
where's the cable tie?
There.
Oh yeah. Look at this. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh look, cable tie's broken. Oh no, it hasn't. It's the grounding for it.
Yeah.
But
Not pretty.
my car had
That must get hot.
a heap of these sensors fail, and I actually had the wiring harness in here fail once as well. That was so hard to find.
I haven't had any sensors
he
failed in the
regrounded
Golf
the
yet,
whole car?
interestingly.
No sensors fail. You
No
just had
sensors
your...
have failed in the Golf at all.
software for that sensor
Oh, Benny. Brutal.
Give us a call in 15 years.
15 minutes.
1500 Ks.
All right. Well, good. Well, this doesn't make me feel better because my car doesn't work. It makes me feel better that we've identified why it hasn't always been as fast as it should be.
Yeah. I think it's just got an intermittent cam sensor problem.
All right. So cam sensor, I'm going to fix that leakiness. I'm probably going to upgrade this while I'm at it. Exhaust, ECU in it. Boom. Come back, make that power all day, every day. No more weird hesitating and silliness.
Martin, can I do a public service announcement to the internet? And I'll do it with my, what do you call them, hype guys when you're rapping? These are my hype men here.
Okay, I'm in.
And, I'm just going to hype it up for the internet because we've been talking about this for years. The number that you get on the dyno that you put in your forum signature is not reflective of how fast your car goes. Can I hear a hell yeah? So what happened to my hype men?
Don't believe the hype.
All right. I'm going home. I'm going to go...
Under the Evo.
What? I'm just going to go and drive it and go pick up some parts to fix it.
My hype men, actually. I'm out of here.
What'd you say? I'm going to pick up an STI. Who said that?
All right. Thanks, everyone.